Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. If you've been put through a discard from this narcissist that was involved in your life, right? I want you to understand that you're not a reject, right? A lot of the times, it's not actually something to do with you, right? You see, when you go through a discard, you start looking inwardly, you start thinking that it's to do with this reason, it's to do with that reason, right? You start doubting yourself. The narcissist actually that was involved in your life instills self-doubt, and it's a deliberate sabotage on your life in why they brutally discarded you in the way that they've done so, right? But what you got to understand is you were unconscious for however long you were unconscious. You wasn't awakened, right? You may have not even known you're an empath, right? And you was on this journey with the narcissist and everything was fine. You were being abused, but you were asleep to the abuse, so you didn't really know that you were being abused, right? You may have noticed some toxicity, you may have got in heated arguments, disagreements, stuff of that nature, but you were well warped into the narcissistic dynamics from this narcissist that's involved in your life. Like, you weren't really seeing reality. And, you know, God or the universe is the all-conscious, the all-knowing, and, you know, not a leaf falls without their comprehension, without God's comprehension or the universe comprehension, not a leaf falls, right? So God was aware and the universe was aware that you were going through this abuse, right? And something happened, right? Call it divine intervention, call it a blessing, right? However you want to look at what happened. But something shifted in your psyche, right? And the narcissist that was involved in your life, they noticed this shift in you, right? And when they noticed this shift in you, they realized that they can't mess with you no more. They saw something in you, right? This could have been the usual lie from the narcissist that they told throughout decades, maybe. Maybe they told you lies for decades or a number of years. They lied to you and deceived you. But on this particular occasion, right, God had enhanced your vision, had made you wake up. And when they told this lie, it didn't sit right with your spirit. So you may have challenged them, right? This is just an example I'm using, but it could be anything. They could have gaslit you one day, but it didn't work, right? Or they could have devalued you one day, but it didn't work. You knew your worth and it didn't damage your spirit. And this shift occurred. And the narcissist is very, very conscious and wants to know what's in your mind. The whole time they've been with you, the narcissist involved in your life wanted to know what you're thinking. They run analysis and work their best efforts to try and understand how you're feeling, how their actions are disrupting you. They run analysis on you, right? But this shift occurred. And this is when the narcissist that was involved in your life moves the goalpost, right? So because they saw you wake up, because they realize that you're troublesome now, right? It's easier for them to wash their hands of you. So a lot of the time they move the goalpost. So you may have been onto something, right? And they knew you were onto their trail of destruction. So they come out of the blue with a discard, or they give you silent treatment, or they ghost you, or they do something of that nature. So, you know, because you're only just awakening, right? Your natural inclination is to pursue the narcissist involved in your life. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. Take 2 seconds at a time. Thank you. So you pursue the narcissist that was involved in your life, and you kind of forget that you were just onto something. And this is what happens why they move the goalpost, right? But the narcissists, you know, they play that card for too long, right? All the time. Narcissists that were involved in your life and narcissists around the globe, when they go for a discard, when they go for silent treatment, when they go for a reverse discard, when they go for, I said silent treatment, I said discard, ghosting you, right? That was the other one. When they do this, they play this card for too long, right? And, you know, for a moment, you may have been pursuing them, saying, I need to talk to you about this, etc., or this or that, and you want to talk about why they discarded you, and they're not giving you the closure that you desire, right? But they play this card for too long, and eventually the empath begins to wake up more and more. The chosen one, the empath, wakes up more and more, right? And you actually ascend to a point of indifference, right? You ascend to a point that you no longer want to reach out to the narcissist. You no longer want to hear what they have to say. And this doesn't happen overnight, but, you know, it could happen through time. It will happen through a particular time period. You reach the point of indifference on your healing journey. And, you know, the narcissist plays that card. They don't want to talk to you. They're ghosting you. They're rejecting you. They discarded you. They're whatever. But you know the story. A narcissist that's involved in your life is never truly done with you. They're putting you on the shelf momentarily. In their minds, they say, all right, they're too troublesome right now. Let me discard them. Let me discard them over there so they can chill out and cool down a bit, right? So I can get back to manipulating them in the future. But this doesn't occur. You don't go back to sleep. You wake up more and more and more. You ascend, you evolve, you develop. You become stronger in your spirit. You develop discernment. And the narcissist completely loses you, right? The narcissist that was involved in your life completely loses all control over your well-being, your actions. They lose complete control because they play this card for too long. They give you the silent treatment for too long. They linger on the discard for too long. And this keeps you, a lot of the time, with the stubborn narcissists, the ones that don't want to reach out with an apology, the ones that don't want to play they won't play the victim role and, or sob story. They won't give you the sob story. That's a better description. They won't give you the sob story. They leave you hanging, right, with a discard or a ghost or silent treatment. They leave you in that state, but you grow exponentially through those troublesome times, through those painful times, through the painful experience. So if you're at the beginning of your journey and you've just received a discard, I promise you things will get brighter. You will develop, you will ascend, you'll learn, you'll educate yourself, you'll advance. You become an educated empath, you become an awakened empath, and there's absolutely no way on earth that you fall back to sleep and let this parasite that was once involved in your life, the narcissist, back into your life. There's absolutely no way that you do it. And you're through with them, you're done with them. Of whatever type of relationship this is, romantic partner, friendship, family member, colleague, associate, whatever, all remains the same. You have advanced so much and ascended so much and educated yourself so much and developed so much, and they overplayed their card, they overplayed their hand for too long. They put you through too long of silent treatment. They put you through such a brutal discard and ghosted you that you had nothing left but to look within. And this is what God wanted for you. God or the universe created that shift initially in your character. They created the split in your psyche. And I probably should have said this earlier. You may not have even been conscious this was happening. It's going to take you to reflect back on your journey, for you to understand that there was a point in time when you woke up. And it might have only been, in comparison to now, it might have been only just a small amount, right? Tiny amount that you woke up, but it was a spark, right? That ignited your journey. It was a spark. It was the awakening. It was the birth. It was a flash thought that come to your mind that was sent by God or sent by the universe for you to detach, right? This was all done for you to detach. And the narcissists, like they do, they overplay their hand, right? And it made you grow to become to the point of indifference where you don't give an F about them, you don't care about them, you don't give a shit about them, you want nothing more to do with them, you don't care what they're doing with their lives, you don't care who they're with, and you've advanced and ascended so much. So you will all get there on your journey. For those that aren't there yet, you only have to read in the comment section and see that so many survivors have actually made it that far, right? So the only way, as I always say, that you will fall back to sleep is if you rush too fast into another situationship with another narcissist by accident, right? You actually make a bad decision through the bouts of loneliness or feeling alone or feeling like you crave human connection, and you settle for another dusty, and you believe that this person's good, right? You start seeing this person as good, but then in reality, this person's no good for you. That's the only way you're going to fall back to sleep. But you won't fall back to sleep with the narcissist that was once involved in your life. You won't fall back to sleep with them. The shift has happened. The advancing has happened. The ascending has happened. So make sure that you use the discernment that you've been God-given, right? The blessing that you've been given with the discernment to make sure you meticulously go through the vetting process with anyone that you let into your life in the future, meticulously, right? And anyone that does not hit the mark and misses the mark, they're not worthy for your life. They're not worthy to be part of your existence. So remember, this narcissist that was once involved in your life overplayed their hand. They're pissed that they overplayed their hand because they ended up losing you in the process. And that's something that they'll later regret for long term, you know? So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got a secondary channel, the spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.